There's something strange happening in the US tech world right now. On one hand, tech companies are making record profits. AI is booming, the stock market is up, and Silicon Valley has never looked stronger. But on the other hand, thousands of tech workers are being laid off. Google, Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, and even startups all have been cutting staff, automating roles, or freezing hiring. Yet at the same time, they're desperately looking for new types of talent. So what's really going on? Why are tech jobs disappearing in some places and exploding in others? And what does this shift mean for the future of work in America? Let's break down the hidden story behind the headlines. First, let's start with the numbers. In the past 2 years, over 500,000 tech workers have been laid off globally, with the majority of those cuts happening in the United States. Big names like Google, Meta, Amazon, and Salesforce all trimmed staff. Even smaller AI startups have been tightening their belts. At first glance, this sounds like a downturn. But here's the twist. Tech companies aren't shrinking, they're evolving. Because while jobs are disappearing in areas like marketing, operations, and customer support, new ones are being created in AI engineering, robotics, chip design, cybersecurity, and cloud infrastructure. It's not a collapse, it's a restructuring. Let's take Google as an example. Just a few years ago, Google was hiring thousands of people for advertising, sales, and content moderation. But now, the company's focus has shifted sharply toward artificial intelligence. Google has redirected billions of dollars into its Gemini AI project and massive data centers across the US. That means fewer human ad analysts and more machine learning engineers. At the same time, many mid-level roles are being replaced by automation. AI tools now handle scheduling, analytics, and even code debugging, jobs that once required entire teams. So while it looks like job cuts, Google's workforce is simply being rewired for a different kind of future. The same story is playing out at Amazon. Amazon recently cut thousands of jobs in its retail and device divisions. But guess what? It's hiring aggressively in areas like robotics, logistics, AI, and cloud computing. The company's warehouses are being transformed by automation, robots picking, sorting, and shipping packages faster than ever. In the past, Amazon employed armies of human packers. Now it needs engineers to build and maintain those robots, analysts to optimize their performance, and developers to manage the AI systems running them. So the jobs aren't gone, they've moved. And then there's Microsoft. Microsoft is one of the biggest investors in AI through its deep partnership with OpenAI, but that same investment is reshaping its own workforce. Traditional software development roles are being automated by AI-assisted coding tools like GitHub Copilot, which can generate full functions or fix bugs in seconds. That means fewer entry-level coding jobs, but more demand for people who can manage, train, and deploy AI systems. It's a shift from writing code to teaching machines how to write code. This trend extends beyond the big players. Across the US, tech employment is polarizing, creating two extremes. At the top, high-paying roles in AI, data science, cybersecurity, and hardware design are booming. These are the builder jobs, roles that design, train, and secure the new AI ecosystem. But at the bottom, many traditional white-collar jobs, customer service, HR, support, content moderation, are being quietly replaced by automation or outsourced. It's creating a skills gap that's growing wider by the month. And here's the truth most people don't realize. This isn't just a Silicon Valley story anymore. Tech jobs are moving across America. Thanks to remote work and new infrastructure investments, states like Texas, Arizona, Ohio, and North Carolina are becoming new tech hubs. Companies are setting up data centers, chip factories, and AI labs far away from California. That means more tech jobs in unexpected places, like construction, maintenance, and logistics support for all these new facilities. So yes, Silicon Valley is changing, but tech is spreading. But let's be honest, for many workers, this shift feels scary. If you've built a career around traditional software roles or office-based tech jobs, automation feels like a threat. AI can now do tasks that once required years of training. Even developers are finding that some coding jobs are being replaced by AI-generated solutions. That's why we're seeing a reskilling revolution. Universities, boot camps, and online learning platforms are racing to teach people how to work with AI instead of being replaced by it. From prompt engineering to data pipeline management, the new tech economy values adaptability over routine. The worker of the future won't just know how to code, they'll know how to collaborate with machines. At the same time, this transformation is creating new opportunities that didn't exist even a year ago. Jobs like AI ethicist, data privacy analyst, autonomous vehicle specialist, and synthetic data engineer are emerging. It's the same pattern we've seen throughout history. New technology replaces some jobs but creates others that are higher value, more creative, and more technical. The challenge is the transition, because the workers losing their jobs today aren't necessarily the ones equipped to take the new ones tomorrow. That's where government and industry partnerships are stepping in. The U.S. is now investing heavily in retraining programs to prepare the workforce for this AI-driven economy, similar to how industrial workers were retrained during the early computer revolution. But here's the most interesting part. This shift isn't just about what jobs people do, it's about where and how they do them. The pandemic permanently changed work culture. Many tech companies downsized their offices, moved to hybrid setups, or went fully remote. That's reshaping cities, real estate, and even entire economies. San Francisco, once the beating heart of tech, is struggling with vacant offices and falling property values. Meanwhile, cities like Austin, Miami, and Denver are booming with new tech startups and talent. The next Silicon Valley won't be a single city, it'll be a network of smaller innovation hubs scattered across America. So what does this all mean for the average worker? It means the era of guaranteed tech job security is over, but a new era of AI-driven opportunity is beginning. Yes, some jobs are being automated, but others, smarter, higher paying, and more impactful, are taking their place. The key isn't to fear AI, but to understand it and learn how to make it work for you. Because in this new economy, it's not the strongest or the fastest who thrive, it's the ones who adapt. So while the headlines might scream about layoffs, the real story is more complicated and more hopeful. The U.S. tech industry isn't dying, it's evolving. The jobs aren't disappearing, they're transforming, and the people who can evolve with it, they'll shape the next chapter of the digital age.